just in a few moments. And we're off. Sin starting at Sanctuary, Sabatender starting at Link's house. We've got a... Speaking of hookshot.
Wow, wow.
Well, there we go. Hookshot in Sanctuary. That is a wonderful place to find that item.
Rupees in Link's house.
Hobo Jim being the only one of our runners to leave the Sanctuary through the front door.
Already having a map check?
Yes, we did have a map check. It looked like we had crystals at Eastern and Desert and a pendant up at Hera. I don't believe any of them were special, but don't hold me to it.
And Killer App getting bombs from the triple. Oh, boots on Uncle! Wow.
Oh, wow, that is very interesting. A lot of runners will attempt to avoid doing the Uncle play until later when you have weapons and can finish out Hyrule Castle, but with the boots being there, that's going to be a huge speed advantage for Killer App right now.
We have a first sword in the maze game as well.
Wow. So yeah.
And another sword in it.
Okay. Okay, the seed is being kind so far. Now, of course, that could lead to a troll just much, much later in the game.
I mean,
and another sword?
Oh, wow.
Are you kidding me? And there's the Cane of Burna on the library, so Killer App will be able to pick that up as soon as he gets there.
So since we have the boots now as well, are we gonna have a check from Killer App in Lumberjack? I guess we will.
Yeah, Lumberjack check might happen. We may have actually had a Lumberjack check from Hobo Jim, and I just wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, true. Killer App getting more bombs now.
Alright, 50 rupees on the Lumberjack hut, so nothing particularly important there. Bug net in the back of the tavern, so that just moved one location south. We've got a big heart, 2 big 20s, and 10 arrows in Blind's hut. Sin and Sabatender both going for the free bombs.
And we got our lamp.
Oh boy, lamp inside Blind's hut.
So I mean, what open already?
What does lamp do? What is Blind doing with a lamp? What's he need that for?
That's a good question, Bob. That's a good question.
But yeah, the Aghanim access is in fact real, and the last qualifier seed we had, there was early Aghanim access as well, and turned out it was required. piece of heart. So the glove. And there we go. So, just to recap, we have located the boots, we've located the cane of Berna, the cane of Samaria, the glove, the lamp, 3 different swords, a bug net, flippers, and hookshot.
10 arrows and 50 bucks. And Saraswat's closet.
Alright, so Sazral's closet, not really that important today, but still, it's a place you don't want to leave behind. And Hobo Jim is going for the escape play down to Zelda's cell. That's an interesting play. I just missed what was in Ice Rod Cave. It looked like it was the...
It was
yeah, blue boomerang. Very nice. And there's the Moon Pearl. Okay, so here's the decision you have to make if you're Hobo Jim. Do you go for Aga right now?
Going for that warp, I guess he's gonna go for that. Or is he gonna just go to the sewers?
He might go to the sewers. But going for Aga right now is not a bad play. You've got the Moon Pearl, the flippers, and the hookshot. You could go to West Dark World. Seems like an interesting play. Though, I mean, it depends on, how desperately you want to avoid doing Aghanim.
I mean, he still has a lot to check as well. He didn't go south yet. And found his glove and cane.
There's a small key in the sewer area, so that is very important for finding additional items back here. Now, we do have a glove elsewhere, so it's not that important. But it does mean that he's not going to suffer from not having that glove at the moment. And we have already determined that the pedestal is not required, thanks to a hint in Eastern Palace from Killer App, says a heart container requires 3 pendants.
Southender not having enough money for Zora. Just checking what's on the legends, 50 rupees only.
Alright, so Hobo Jim is going to go to South Shore, not bother
Killer
checking.
App as a butter sword?
What? What in the name of all this good and holy? Where are all these swords coming from? Who handed these swords out? It's like Ganon wants them to kill him. Alright, so yet again, another one of our runners reaching Zora's domain without the requisite 500 rupees to pay off Zora.
We're running out of location here.
So Sabotender did a nice little map check to allow us to gain some more information there. Sabotender is still without the boots, unfortunately. As is Sin. Both runners have yet to check the Uncle's Tunnel. And our hobo today has a bottle.
So who's gonna be our first player to reach Death Mountain?
Good question. Death Mountain is pretty good right now.
I guess Sabotender's going there.
It's quite possible. He is going through the long Lost Woods right now, and that would make sense as his next destination. He may check Sick Kid. No, I think he's already done that.
Going to that mountain.
All right, so now all 4 runners have acquired the Cane of Samaria. Sin Sprite is Vanilla Link, if I'm not mistaken. It's called Vanilla Link. It's not the Vanilla Link Sprite, it's the Vanilla Link Sprite. You get it.
I actually thought it was vanilla like before I actually watched it. Oh, we have a first Sick Kid check, I guess, as well. Since Hobo didn't get. Oh no, he doesn't have the bot. He cannot check Sick Kid.
Yep. Ironically, Hobo being the only person who hasn't been to the Hobo to get the bottle.
Sabotender not going for the hint. I've seen a lot of people going for that one, but I guess he's not going for this one.
Yeah, I mean,
Dear
when
old
you've got...
man.
Sorry, when you've got the whole of East Death Mountain to go to, it's just kind of like, do I really want to go out of the way for that? But those hints can be pretty useful.
Let's see if Cine is gonna go for that hint. Oh yeah, he is. Alright, Paradox Cave. Tell me what you got.
Alright, so just bombs and a piece of heart so far. We also saw a piece of hearts.
The flippers, we have them already, so useless
Right.
hint. 10
10
arrows.
more.
Ooh!
Titan's Mitt. And
The bomb.
Bombos. Is it Ice Palace time yet? Because it might be Ice Palace time.
I actually wouldn't go without the hammer, but
yeah, the hammer is definitely something you want, but still, there is that. But yeah, Moon Pearl was in Zelda Cell, so Sabotender is gonna have to go to escape at some point, as is Sin. Both of the runners that do not have the boots at the moment, on account of having never been there.
and Sabotender not having the boots for Spiral Cave. That's a long, long, long walk. Getting a Sick Kid check from Killer App. Only a piece of heart.
Alright, so Sabotender is checking Super Bunny Cave in the Super Bunny form. This is the rare occasion where Super Bunny Cave gets its name. So yeah, the Super Bunny Cave, of course, allows you to open the chests in here using the Super Bunny glitch, and the activation of that Super Bunny glitch is completely free because it just activates when you fall down the hole.
And
There,
Quake.
ooh, Quake Medallion, very nice.
And Sabotan they're actually going for the eastern area.
Yeah, it's a nice call, with the exception of the fact that you're going to be missing out on the Moon Pearl and the boots until you get to escape. Alright, so Sin will be picking up the boots shortly, and that will make Sin's routing much faster throughout the game. Alright, we're getting information that the Misery Mire contains the green pendant today from Sahasrara.
Sine going for his Moon Pearl. And not being able to check that Hookshot Cave on the way. Since they didn't have that Moon Pearl.
Pretty unfortunate. Killer App will be in probably the best position here in Death Mountain.
He doesn't have the Moon Pearl as well.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, what am I talking about? Alright, looks like Hobo is finally heading up to Death Mountain, so that's going to be pretty great for Hobo Jim. So let's actually talk about Ice Palace for a second here, because once Hobo gets the glove and the Bombos medallion, that, Ice Palace becomes a play. You want the hammer before you go in there for sure, but you know what else is in there? 3 hints.
True. 3 hints. One at the very beginning as well. I mean, you still have like Hookshot and Kane as well. Maybe you may find a hammer in there, but you still have a lot to check though.
So Sin, after picking up the Moon Pearl in the escape, is now heading back to Death Mountain immediately to check the dark side.
Oh, we have a map check. So our last pendant is Swamp.
Yep, Swamp Palace. The 5 and 6 crystals are Turtle Rock and Thieves Town. So it seems unlikely that the Pyramid Fairy will be required, but possible.
I mean, we already have Kane.
Yep, all we need is what? Hammer, Fire Rod, Ice Rod.
That's it.
I mean, you could have Bow there.
We already have the pendants as well, so.
Well, yeah. Yeah, unless it's Ether, we should be good. Actually, we're gonna find out right now.
And Bombos.
It's Bombos. All right. So, welcome to Hookshot Cave.
A
Home
book.
of 4 items include the Book of Medora. My goodness.
Oh,
And hammer. Okay, so Book and Hammer in Hookshot Cave. That is a pretty high level of awareness on Sin's part to head right back up there before checking out the rest of the Dark World. Especially since I really dislike only having Titan's Mitts for Dark World access. You know what I mean?
What's open now? Fully open. Ice Palace.
Uh-huh. I'm smelling a whole lot of Ice Palace coming off of this seed.
Cine going for Desert Palace. I mean, with Mizumare being a pendant, it might actually be a very good call. You might not even need the flute in this seed.
So I get the feeling that some people may have actually gone for the early Aghanim play I was talking about, and that would have really bit them here, because Aghanim clearly not required today.
I mean, that was kind of a bold move to make that early into the seed. Like, so many locations to check before going to Aga.
Alright, so there's the big key of Desert. Still no items found in Desert Palace just yet.
You have bombs on. Oh, checking the hint.
Okay, so the cape is on Sahaz Rala from the green pendant, it looks like.
Hobo's gonna get his armor very, very soon. Gonna be happy to find that.
I imagine Sin will go ahead and finish off Desert Palace here, as it is a crystal, and there is still one more item remaining.
Sabotender having trouble with its Moon Pearl. He did go for the boots though.
If he went to the Uncle's Tunnel and then decided to leave, after finding the boots, he's like, oh, I guess I need to go to King's Tomb and Bonkrot's. Nope. He being the Killer Rat being the only one of our runners to not have
Oh, Fire
the
Rod actually
hammer and
in
getting the
Skullwoods.
Fire Rod. What? Well, I imagine we'll see a clear of Skull Woods coming up here.
Definitely.
That is ridiculous.
Clear up, you have your cane equipped. Wow, he just realized.
It happens. And Killer App is taking an intentional death there to get outside a little quicker.
I guess was going for a hard trip though. It was very low on health.
Yeah. I imagine. So you kind of like to have the mirror to get out of there earlier, but you know what? We may not even see the mirror for this run.
True, true.
Sabotender finally going to the front of Escape. We'll see him get his Moon Pearl shortly.
Cure up, getting really low on health. He has a red pot though. Half magic against Motola, even with green mail and 9 hearts. I mean, 4 hearts.
Oh boy,
in this case.
you see what's happening on the top left
Oh
corner of the screen?
wow!
It's an Ice Palace play. A unique item
getting-
is in Skull Woods. That's great information. You're going to learn about that Fire Rod.
Easy fight for Killer App, butter. And the second item being a heart.
Yeah, so Ice Palace has sort of gone from like the Black Sheep dungeon to, you know, a dungeon people are willing to dip a lot earlier now, just because of all those hints.
Sabotender getting his Moon Pearl. He was getting ready for Aga. Definitely. Oh, actually gonna check the sewers. Oh, he realized. I don't need to do Aga anymore.
Alright, so where's he headed? Looks like also to the
Skullwoods.
Skullwoods Thieves Town area. So it's going to be a little unfortunate heading into Thieves Town without the hammer. Might leave something behind. Looks like the second hint is Garbo. They have recently differentiated the joke hints from the real hints, just in case you were... just in case you thought they were real, they made the joke hints bright green.
Killer App going into Thieves Town. No, just opening. Not going without the hammer, I guess.
Not just yet. I imagine he'll check the other two item locations in the general vicinity and then head straight in. Speaking of heading straight in, that's what Sabotender is doing right now. We see another bottle. So Sin finds a small key up there in Ice Palace, which prompts him to go back upstairs and check the right-hand side here, as it's much faster.
And 50 rupees in the digging game.
Oh! We have an archery implement inside Thieves Town and 300 rupees. So, what was that? The 3 items right at the beginning, plus the big key for Thieves Town? Yep. So, unless the small key is in the chest next to the maiden downstairs, the hammer will not be required for this particular dungeon. Or any of the items in it.
We're actually missing only Ice Rod. From our perspective, I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't need the flute to get to Misery Mire. We are pretty much golden on that front. Sabotender getting a little bit bodied there in the Hellway.
We have a high cave check. 10 arrows. A heart. A piece of heart. 5 rupees. And a small shield.
So it looks like Sin is going directly for Cold Stare. I think he may have actually found all 3 items. Piece of heart in the first chest. I believe there were some bombs. And then I don't think I saw the 3rd item, but I think it's there. So a lot less painful than a Ice Palace check normally would be.
I didn't see that hint. Did he go for it? I don't think so with that small key. What's the 3rd hint?
No, he did not go for the 3rd hint.
Killer App taking his little friend for world trip.
So that means we probably will be seeing a catfish check. So Sin will probably want to take that knowledge he got about Skull Woods and put it to good use pretty soon, I would think.
Yeah. Do you think he's gonna check hint in Sun Palace?
Maybe. I've seen a lot of runners just jump in there to check the hint. I mean, I've done it a couple times. I mean, with Sin's, shown propensity for going into dungeons that have hints, it might just happen, but who knows? Hobo is finishing off Mothula as well. He's going to get a crystal there. This is one thing I love about watching runners who are actually good at this game. Sin, we saw him just switch to the hammer, because the next item he's going to need is the hammer for Peg Cave. He's thinking that far ahead.
And a heart being forged.
Looked like the item on Bumper Cave was not important. It means we can rule out a green pendant requirement as well.
Yeah, I mean, if Ice Sword was there, man, you would actually need a lot of items to get into Mr. Mario as well. I mean, probably abundant and definitely flute. So that being ruled out is actually good for runners.
Silver arrows in the Peg Cave, and of course Sin and Hobo would be the only runners capable of getting those at the moment. And Sin might be picking up the implement to use said silver arrows shortly, with an impending visit to Thieves Town.
I mean, definitely gotta go for it, even he has all the items. Killer App getting his.
And Hobo will be getting the bow as well shortly, and Sin right after that, so we'll have bows all around. I expect a play over into Palace of Darkness from Sabatender pretty soon. He's got the blacksmith following him, so I imagine he'll go do that first. Because, I mean, if you went to pick up the blacksmith, you might as well turn it in, because
I actually don't think he's gonna go, like, he has to go all around for that. Since he doesn't have the hammer. And he has a follower with him. Oh, he's gonna go with his friend into... Can you? I forgot. Don't
Well,
need
you
to
lose.
exit?
You lose.
Oh, you're
the
gonna
blacksmith
lose it for
as soon as
Kiki.
you pick up Kiki. Yeah.
I forgot what was a Deep Town's hint.
Oh,
Alright.
about
Not
the
really
most
useful.
useless thing I've ever seen in my life. About the only useful hint I've seen so far is
Ped
the
one. Oh, and
the
the unique
ped one
item.
and the unique item in Skullwoods from Ice Palace, which is nice if you're going into Ice Palace looking for the fire rod.
But Bob, do you want to find Mirror here?
I want to find Mirror. I mean, Mirror would give us Swamp Palace, and everybody knows how I feel about Swamp Palace. And if you don't, you can just refer back to my last race where the hook shot was in Swamp and what happened there.
I wouldn't want to find Mirror here, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like,
the mirror just unlocks so many like out of the way locations that you've already checked everything around it. And so you prefer not to have to do that because now it just opens up the number of options you have for that ice rod.
Fire Rod is in Skullwoods.
So now I do imagine that Hobo and Sin, Sin after finishing Skull Woods, and Hobo possibly like right now, will be going to Palace of Darkness to finish that off. And
I have to go to Skullwoods first, yeah. Hobo will definitely go to Eastern and Pop. Or would go for the trip around and go to Hype Cave first. I guess he would do that.
yeah. Sin has so many things finished. Ice, Desert, getting Thieves Town here, get Skullwood soon.
And Sabo going
And
to
then
Darkdeath Mountain to get his hammer.
that is going to be very good news for Sabatender.
I mean, he didn't go to Pod. He's gonna be very happy to find that.
Oh my goodness, Sin. Such good awareness. So he came into Village of Outcasts with the hammer selected. Okay? And so he goes into Thieves Town because he knows he's going to use that in there. And then he comes out because he's got bombs selected after dealing with the floors and stuff and deals with the brewery. It's just like, you know what items you're going to use. It's just great. I got to start paying attention to that because menu time is like my worst thing.
Yes. Yeah. You have a first player to go into Palace of Darkness with Killer App. Not having the hammer though.
Ooh, that's gonna hurt.
I'm a small kid to begin with. So not bow locked already. But they have it, so Doesn't really matter. They also
think-
have a red bottle as well. I mean, red potion in the bottle.
I think Killer App, if at all possible, would like to avoid having to go to the right-hand side on account of not having that hammer. Because there's those hammer pegs blocking you from the rest of the dungeon. You'd have to
Having
take a
the
death
spear as
warp.
well.
Well, there's one item here on the left-hand side. If there's an item down here, then he knows that the right side is small keys. All right, so there's a hint here. We can see what that is. A unique item held by someone friendly. That's pretty generic, but
Could be the cape, because like
yeah, it could be referring to the cape.
Charlotte has the cape. We know that from another hint.
Now, it could be something like the ice rod on Magic Bat or something. So, ooh, double keys on the right-hand side. And Killer App is going to have to, walk back through.
Boots as well on Uncle.
Yeah, could be Boots on Uncle. Killer App is doing the Death Warp strat here. To go from full health to no health on 13 hearts is less than ideal. All right. Sin now about to finish off Mothula, making use of that half magic and tempered sword to make quick work of the bug. And that's actually both items for Skullwoods, so we're good to go.
Another green rupee in pod.
Both green rupees in pod. Huh.
And Cine going for the eastern area.
Yep, I mean, he's only got 3 dungeons left. And I'm not going to lie, after Sinhei finishes Eastern and Pod, I would be super tempted to just YOLO Turtle Rock. Be like,
I'd consider that as well, to be
let's
honest.
hope the ice rod's in there and just go. And I mean, to be fair, what else is left?
That's true. I mean, like,
Tower of Hera,
yeah, Tower of Hera.
which you'd check after Turtle Rock.
Would you?
I mean, I would. I might check it on the way. Well, no,
I mean, you have to
the
eat the
mirror.
tablet. You have to eat. You have to eat the chocolate that you can check also on your way. So
It is
would you go
true.
for
But
that-
the thing is, I don't have the mirror, so I'm gonna be going by Turtle Rock first. On the way there.
And Killer App going for his hammer finally. Oh wait.
Yeah, well, he's gonna try for half a second, then he's gonna realize, wait a minute.
Yeah, I was like, aren't you missing something for that? Killer App, like the thing you're looking.
3, 2, 1. Wait a minute. All right.
Man.
He's gonna jump down. He might actually go for Hera right now.
Oh, he can't. He needs the hammer.
Oh yeah, I'm dumb.
I don't remember. Did we get the 3 items in Eastern?
I want to think we got. I know we got at least 2, but that's a given. I know the big key is back here.
So Hobujin didn't get his silvers.
That's unfortunate.
He did go for the smith. He did go for the smith though, but didn't get the silvers.
Yeah, a lot of people don't think of doing the silvers if you're not going to get that purple chest without the mirror. But Sin just picked it up on the way into Thieves Town, which was a pretty heads-up play, if you're asking me.
Oh, and the map.
Yeah, we got. Looks like we did get all the items. Killer App finally has the hammer and the book.
Quick fight for Sin since he has his silvers.
All right, so I imagine Sin will now be heading to Pod to finish that off as well. And we'll see what happens when that's finished.
Fortunately, he won't find anything in there. Apparently, Helmazor has to come.
Yeah, no real items of any consequence there.
Now the question is, will Cine go straight into Tulsa Rock or not? After
You
he's done
never
with
know.
Vault.
So you could do this really interesting play and go into Turtle Rock, and if you don't find it, go out Laser Bridge and mirror on the outside.
If you find it in Tulsa Rock.
Well, I mean, if you don't find the ice rod, right?
Yeah, but
Oh
the
yeah,
mirror.
if you don't find the mirror, true. You're right. I'm a dumb. Wait, why do we not have so many items? Where did all these items go, and why don't we have them?
I'm just surprised that all players still rocking the green tunic. A green mail, I mean.
Yeah, the green mail is, not the most fun thing to wear. You take a lot of damage wearing the green mail. All right, so Killer App heading to be the last of our runners to take down Armos. Basically, the fact that Killer App decided not to go back up to Death Mountain to find the hammer. That was what put Killer App behind.
Oh, and Sabo Sander using a few arrows there. Had to refill a little bit.
No, 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 no. You're not thinking. You're not thinking deep enough. Flute in Turtle Rock.
No. I didn't want to think about it. That's the thing.
Mirror in Mire. Ice Rod in Swamp.
No. I thought about it, but I didn't want to say it. I just didn't want. Just want them to have a nice seat, you know.
Yeah, that's kind of the worst case, but it's not going to happen. If it does, I'm sorry.
We know Pet is a piece of heart from one of the hints. So
I think it's a full heart, but yeah.
a full heart. Yeah. I mean, Ice Rod on Pet at this point, with 2 Pen and Dungeon not being open would actually be the worst, but thankfully it's not.
All right, so every single one of our runners now currently in the same dungeon. All of them basically have done the same amount of progression in it, with the exception of Sin, or Killer App has cleared out most of it at the moment. Yeah, okay, so Killer App is finishing this dungeon right now.
I mean, I have a worse scenario, like Flute in TR, Mirror somewhere else, while Ice Rod was being in Mimic Cave all the time.
Gross. Gross. All right. So Killer App will be heading down to Helmasaur. There's not really any more information we're going to get from this point on here in Palace of Darkness. I want to take this opportunity to remind everybody that these runners are putting on an excellent show for all of you, and I'm sure they would all appreciate a follow from anybody watching. It'd be a nice little gesture. And Killer App facing off against Helmasaur, finishing it off in short order. And everyone getting the nice death warp. Synchronized death warps. The major difference between our runners on the top and between Sin and the other 2 runners that are in, about to go finish pod, is that Sin has finished 2 other dungeons that the other guys haven't.
Type of Tender didn't go into Skullwoods, right? He doesn't have the Pyro.
Yeah. I guess Hobo Jim has finished Skull Woods. He hasn't touched Ice Palace though, and Sin has destroyed that thing.
No arrow. Hobo having to refill a little bit.
Yep. Well, it is nice to know that there are arrows available right there.
And Killer App going for that Ice Palace.
Yep, Ice Palace definitely required. And if you hadn't been to Skull Woods already, it would give you a nice valuable hint right here. We'll see if Killer App goes for that 3rd hint. We know that Sin did not go for it when he was in here. All right, Sin now on Helmasaur with Hobo Jim and Sabotender coming in right behind. Couple of slashes to the face with the Butter Sword, quickly dispatching Helmasaur King. There's a reason Sin has basically won 2 races.
Wasn't it the only one that didn't check his turn for having bow basically?
Yep.
He has butter now. He wasn't tempered for a long time. So Sin, what are you gonna do? Oh, Death Mountain?
Yeah, looks like we might be seeing the Turtle Rock YOLO.
Here we're a nice shot from Gomu.
All right, so Sin is making his way over toward Turtle Rock. Can activate that portal, it looks like. Oh, nope, we're going to Hera first. And that does make sense because we don't have the mirror yet. If we had the mirror, we might expect another play.
Eat the tablet, what are you gonna give us? A piece of heart. And we also have 2 hints there.
Yeah, 2 hints in Hera could point us directly at the Ice Rod for all we know.
So if you are fire locked, would you still go for it? Or just go straight into Turtle Rock?
I don't know.
Not checking the hint?
Hard containers in Palace of Darkness, and it looks like Sin is going to peace out. Oh, here we go. You know what would be fun? Ice Rod on Zora over here.
Oh yeah, true. Nobody checked Zora. They didn't have the money for that.
I mean, that would be a unique item held by someone friendly.
That as well.
Nope, just 300 rupees. I mean, it's not like the world's worst investment, but Hobo Jim isn't taking it back. It's like, no, you can just take all my money. I don't care.
Where's Hobo going though?
So Sin just confirmed from the hint in Turtle Rock that Mimic Cave just contains some cash. So that's a really nice thing to find if you're going
That's
into
actually
Turtle
very
Rock.
nice. That's actually a very nice hint. Especially when you don't have the mirror going into Turtle Rock.
All right, right-hand side of Turtle Rock, fire-locked area. Got 2 chests over here, one of which will likely contain either a big key or small key. There's a big one.
And a big 20.
All right, so the next chest in the chain chomp room will definitely contain a small key. And I do expect Sin to go for that vanilla big key chest.
Yeah, definitely.
While you're still looking for that ice rod, you can't really rule out any locations, unfortunately.
A very nice chain jump room from Cine.
And Hobo
Oh.
Jim also piecing out of Hera. Now, the unfortunate thing with Hobo Jim is he does not have Ice Palace finished. Sin does.
Did you realize he didn't have it though? It's like he went straight into Dead Mountain after finishing his checks.
Oof!
Oh,
Sin takes a beating from that pokey, and it was not intentional.
I mean, Green Mail. He didn't have a lot of cards as well.
Yeah, green mail sucks. All right, Sabotender heading down to the Cold Stare fight. Killer App finishing out Desert, while Hobo Jim following Sin into Turtle Rock. Now, hopefully, Sin will not have as much trouble this time. Well, I think the reason you do Turtle Rock before you do Ice Palace is if the Ice Rod is in here, you just get to go mode Ice.
That's true.
And it's in here. It's in the
Wow.
big key chest.
Ladies and gentlemen, 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 46 seconds we are in go mode.
Yeah, and Sin is going to take no stops along the way. He's just going to grab whatever keys he needs to get through here and head directly to Ganon as quickly as possible. I don't see him opening any extra chests for any reason, to be honest.
He might not even have to go to Laser Bridge.
Yeah, you do want to go ahead and check the big chest here in case it has a small key. You don't want to get burned.
And
Doesn't.
Sabotender actually checking the spike cave before going.
Yeah, I was wondering about the Spike Cave, considering we found the Cane of Burna so early. But with the hammer kind of hidden away, it's a little less likely.
Thankfully, it's just a big 20. Imagine if it would have been like a flute or a mirror.
Oh my goodness, that would have been like the absolute debated. I mean, it looks like this seed has basically been, you know, relatively straightforward. It hasn't really led them astray.
Yeah, true.
They haven't really had the opportunity to get debated into any pendant dungeons other than Hera.
And nobody actually took the bait to go further than the first room. So I would end up not going into Skull Woods.
Oh, looks like he's going for Peg Cave. He might get the silvers.
The Hobojin very happy to have found his ice rod.
Unfortunately, he is going to have to go clear Ice Palace. He will be able to go mode it, but he's going to have to climb the mountain again to get back to Ganon's Tower.
Nice from Sin.
Very nice Butter Sword Trinex. Double spin slash, and we are done. And it's time for Ganon's Tower. Now, there are 22 places where that big key can be. We're not on the speed gaming channels, but that doesn't mean you can't guess where that big key is going to be. We're just not going to have a bot to check it.
But where do you think it's gonna be? I mean, asking Bob the question where the big key is gonna be.
I mean, most people know my contractually obligated guess is Bob's chest.
Of course.
Conditionally chest number 14, depending on which way they go. Could be 18 if they go right first and then head left, or it could be 12 if they do DM strats.
I'd go for I don't like to go for a number because people always have like different strat. I'll just go for the skull. Chest number. The skull chest on top left. You know, the room with the skeletons. I'm in.
Oh, okay.
That's really good.
So top left in Stelphos room.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding me the name.
Alright, so we did get one key over on the right-hand side. Sin, not a runner to head right on the sign of a first key. That has sort of been the meta recently, where a lot of people will just
mirror.
go right.
Actually.
Mirror.
Wow.
Nice. So it was actually impossible to get it debated into Swamp today. And there's 3 keys total. Really? 3 keys total? Okay. Yeah, the Malakru's making a pretty good point. If you don't have the mirror, going right first is not necessarily a great proposition unless you plan to go full right.
So, run the room now.
Yep, rando room. This will be chess.
Oh wait. How about didn't
13.
realize he doesn't have. He hasn't cleared the ice yet.
Oh boy.
Oh no, going to ice. What is he looking for?
Oh, I guess he's going for Spike Cave, but
Oh yeah, he doesn't have any of those. The cane nor the cape. I mean, cape is on Sasha. We know that. So.
Sin accidentally picking up his bonk implement, but manages the bomb jump.
What's in Bob's chest?
Be number 14. He's going to go ahead and wait on Bob to leave. And it is a big 20. Oh, Hobo's going for the Pyramid Fairy. I'm still wondering what he's looking for, exactly. I mean, maybe he doesn't know how to do Silverless?
Silvers are in Pet Cave.
We've got a shovel, a small key, and a compass, meaning right-hand side turns out to be the play. Do you happen to remember what was in the chest right before Rando Room?
No. I forgot about it.
Because if it wasn't a small key, then Sin is completely right to skip Tile Room. Because that would mean that Tile Room is a small key.
Right,
There's the big key.
Number 20.
Sin gonna go ahead and grab this small key, use the mirror to get out. I mean, at this point, I'm expecting the flute on the way up GT, which Sin's not gonna check anything on the way up GT.
I mean, flute could also be in Swamp.
Yeah, it could be in Swamp. It could be in, like, Grove Cave, Graveyard Ledge. It's gonna be a pretty fast time. All sorts of mirror locations now. Oh no. So we're getting a confirmation from Herfy Durfy in the chat saying that Hobo Jim apparently marked ice as a pendant and swamp as a crystal on his tracker. So he's looking for the mirror.
I mean, he will go at some point. I hope he will realize when he hear the music inside Ice Palace, because that's the only thing open to him at the moment.
He did get the silvers though, so there's some upside there. And we've got Sin heading left up Ganon's Tower into the Landmo 2 fight. There we go. That's how I words.
Making use of his cane.
These are probably my favorite rooms in the whole Ganon's Tower. We see Sabotender also making the play into into Turtle Rock. We know this is going to pay off handsomely. Killer App is entering Ganon's Tower right now. So we thought Killer App was pretty far behind, but it turns out Killer App is going to be likely the second one of our runners to finish on stream.
Hobo going for ice now. I hope he'll realize and just go mood it.
And Killer App is going to head right first. So that's going to be a little bit faster pickup on the big key here. Sin has no interest in the remaining chests on the way up Ganon's tower. That is it for him. We're going to go to Aga 2 and then the Ganon fight.
He has to realize before getting the 3 items that he has to go modded. Because when he's gonna get 3 items, if he didn't realize, he's just gonna leave. You know there's nothing on the bedstone.
I hope he notices the music. It is potentially something you just tune out. And Sin finishing off Aga 2, time for bacon.
Oh, he didn't get the mirror, so he has to death warp like this with 15 hearts. That's kind of painful.
Well, Cold Stare has a small key, so I don't think he's gonna... I think he'll probably clear out the rest of the dungeon before heading to Cold Stare. That is unfortunate.
And Sin going for that pig with butter sword. Very, very easy fight for him. Still on that green mail though.
Yep, you don't want to take too much damage here. You want to avoid the fire bats if at all possible. You definitely want to avoid contact with Ganon's body proper. That is a whole 8 hearts of damage. Wow. What is this, V18? Where'd all the teleports go?
And Sin is done with the pig. Kirab going for a heart refill here. I mean, I don't blame him with the green mail and only 4 hearts left. GG, Sine.
All right, Sinhei finishing with an official time of 1 hour, 19 minutes, and 55 seconds. That puts him in 4th place in this race, behind Data World, Error, and Andy, finishing with 114.43, 115.01, and 116.37. Still an excellent showing, and will be able to maintain his very high placement. Killer App now on the way up Ganon's tower. Sabatender going to finish off Trinex and head just that direction himself.
Hobujin still hasn't realized. Still looking for items here.
I hope he goes ahead and kills Cold Stare. He's going to look at this hint.
Wow.
Incredibly useless. And Killer App will now reach the Helmosaur room, get a couple of keys there. He's going to go ahead and check a couple of chests here, looks like, because he doesn't have silvers. He's going to hope to find those along the way. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. Though for all we know, we could find a male upgrade.
Or
I
a
could see
flute.
Sprite turning into Pepsi at this point.
Oh, hobo living ice.
Oh no!
Sabotander going for left side. He's gonna find his mirror. Will he do Dark Magician with this mirror? No, actually still going for the left side.
Yep, so it's going to take a little bit longer. Going to see about getting an interview going here, if we can.
And the full health sleep again.
And hello, it looks like we are joined by the stream winner and fourth place finisher in this qualifier, Sin. Sin, how you doing?
Yo, hey guys. Well, I'm doing fine. I was a little bit tilted during GT because of the big key not popping up earlier.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah. Well, I thought about doing Dark Magician strat this time around, but it felt kind of risky without the mirror, and then suddenly mirror in Stalfos room. But I thought to myself, you already started right side, so I might as well pull the full left now. Maybe the big key is going to be in the render room again.
And there is that possibility, and to be fair, I would have done the exact same thing. But yeah, this was a very interesting run. Very, very well played run on your part. I especially liked the play into Ice Palace you did early on. Kind of gave you the information on that fire rod to begin with, and then, also just getting Ice Palace out of the way before anybody else dealt with it.
That was sort of a gamble. I was hoping for Fire Rod and Ice this time around because we got access to it very early with Hookshot, Hammer, Bombos, and the Flippers, as well as the Titan mids. The only thing that bothered me a little bit in the early game was that Moon Pearl, and especially that Boots location.
Oh, true.
It was so bad. But yeah, all in all, not a bad seed. I'll take it for what it is, with the few errors I did. But yeah.
I mean, as it is, you're looking pretty excellent for reaching the next stage of this tournament. I would be terribly surprised if you missed the cut.
Yeah, well, that should be the one match that will not count, I guess. 190, yes. Probably by far the best qualifier out of the 5 I will do. Unless we get another Super Jet seed that I finish in an even lower time.
Yeah. So, I mean, the last two qualifiers you ran, you actually placed first place. So, you got the plus above 1.0 score for that one, which was pretty good. This one has you in fourth, but still very, very respectable time, and you'll still be getting upwards of like 0.98 or something in terms of qualifier points.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I'm not too worried about being in the top 5, top 10, whatever. As long as I'm in the top 96, I'm all good.
Seems good. So you were only two of our runners, you and Sabatender, managed to go find the silver arrows so far.
Oh, all right.
And so Killer App is currently fighting Ganon Silverless. Hobo Jim had a pretty unfortunate mishap here. He accidentally marked Ice Palace as a pendant and Swamp as a crystal.
Oh,
And he did go into ice, and he didn't realize his mistake.
yeah, I can't say that hasn't happened to me before. Though it wasn't on Ice Palace, it was more on Thief's Town one time around.
Mm.
But that's really unfortunate. Well, at the very least, he won't be getting the mirror to go into Swamp.
Yep, he's gonna have to realize his mistake eventually.
And nobody found the flute as well. So let's hope it's in Swamp as well.
Yeah, hopefully. I was thinking about the Maya players. I read the hint for Skullbones that there was going to be a unique item. I was more or less thinking about something like flute being in there, which leads to Misery Maya for Fire Rod.
Mm.
A flute was in the validation chest? Alright.
Wow, that's fun.
He's definitely not gonna find it, so.
Alright, so he should be pretty safe then, I guess.
All right, so Killer App finishing on our stream with an official time of 1 hour 27 minutes and 34 seconds. That puts him in 22nd place for this race. Now, this race was, not quite as populated as Wednesday's race, but there were still quite a few runners in it. So far, I think there was about 60 something in this one.
That's still a decent number for a race. Most of people are done. Some people are already done by now, so. I know a few runners that already have 5 races, for example. It's only qualifier number 8. Still have 7 to go.
Yep. Seven more to go after this, but I don't imagine it'll be a problem for Sin here.
I mean, twice first place and now 4th. I don't think it's gonna be a big problem for him to get into top 96.
All right. Anything else you'd like to say about this seed?
I'm not really sure. Maybe put something in Ice Palace next time? Like, Ice Palace has saved me way too often during the Swiss stages in the former spring tournament. It doesn't feel like it has any weight since version 30 anymore.
I mean, it still helped you with that hint for Skullwoods, I guess.
Well, certainly did. But yeah. I mean,
Tabo
Ice
isn't
Palace
going-
has a big, or rather high value because of the hints anyway. There's 3 in total. So it's not a bad play, just the item placement is not favorable.
Like we had Sabu Tender going into Skullwoods very late because he didn't get the hint.
Yeah, I think Hobo Jim actually found the fire rod really early. I think he just ran in there. It was either him or Killer App.
Oh, alright. Well, I probably would have checked it earlier as well. I mean, it's one of the quicker checks early, especially if you have mids as your Dark World access. It's a pretty quick check anyway. Even if it doesn't end up having something, it doesn't take long, and you certainly don't need that much time to go back to Skullwoods. So it's one of the
Alright.
early checks I would always recommend to do.
So, a message from Killer App got a hold of him. He's gonna go ahead and decline the interview, but he does pass along a GG's to everybody else. So GG from Killer App to all of you guys. All right, so Sabatender will be coming up on Ganon shortly. I think Hobo Jim is about to check the hint in Swamp Palace.
I don't know if he knows that he can check it without, because he pulled. He went to the dam first, and then he realized he didn't have the mirror. What did he mark as a pendant though? I mean, as a crystal instead of ice.
Swamp.
Did he realize with the music now? He
Oh,
realized.
there he
now.
goes.
You have a
It's
map
like,
check.
wait a minute. Are you kidding me right now? Oh boy. Oh, that is unfortunate.
I think he realized with the music when he was in this one. Something was wrong. He didn't even check the hint.
No, he checked it. It said unique item requires a bomb. I'm trying to figure out what that was. Oh, that has got to feel just awful. Anyway, looks like Sabatender will be finishing off Ganon shortly. We may be able to have a chat with him shortly.
And the pig is dead.
Yep. So Sabatender finishing with an official time of 1 hour 33 minutes and 51 seconds. That is good enough for 29th place in today's race. And we are joined now by Sabatender. Congratulations on the finish.
Hey, thanks. Thanks, guys.
Well done. Looks like a pretty decent time. It's going to put you in. I think it's going to be somewhere in like the 0.83 range or something for score wise.
Okay, that sounds not too bad. I've been averaging somewhere around 0.84, 0.83, so I'm kind of right on my marks there, I guess.
Yeah, I should actually do the math. I haven't done that, but I'm just estimating.
Yeah, so that moon pearl was the thing for me this seed. God, I'm so upset that I last locationed that. I thought about going to escape a couple of times as I was kind of just running around aimlessly in the light world during the early game there, but nope, I waited until the last possible second to go for it.
And then, of course, I think it took you a little while to go back up to Death Mountain to get the hammer, right?
It did, but it's funny because like when I got up there and I got the hammer, I was actually pretty confident in myself that I had done something excellent. I'm like, and then as I thought about as the race went on, I was like, wait a minute, everybody already did this before me. I'm not smart.
Oh, yeah. Sin actually, went up there, got the Titan's mitts, and then got the Moon Pearl, and then was like, back to Death Mountain immediately.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of ridiculous, but it worked pretty well.
Yeah. Well, when I went up there and grabbed those mitts, I didn't have the pearl first trip, so I did the super bunny, which was something you don't really do. I thought, oh man, what if the moon pearl's here? This is gonna be so awesome. And no, of course not.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Moon Pearl can't actually be in Super Bunny Cave. It's
Oh really?
considered a glitch, so it's not ever required.
Ah. Yeah, then I guess after that, I missed out on the fire rod. I didn't go there until quite late in the run, but I didn't really think that at that point in my race, that didn't really affect me too much. I was able to, kind of mow down a couple of the crystal dungeons, Thieves Town, and then back to back Eastern Palace and Pods. So I don't know. I think falling behind early kind of didn't work in my favor there. I wasn't able to make up the time when it was clearly like a super jet seed.
There was an hint in Ice that told you that your unique item was in Skullwood as well.
I'm so bad at reading those tiles. Like the only one I think I usually read is the one in Eastern Palace there, because I'm like, oh, it's right there. I'm walking right past it. Literally every other hint tile, I'm like, nope.
All right. I just did the math. I think it looks like about a 0.76.
See, that seems, yeah, like I feel like I was pretty far behind today, so that one might be the throwaway.
But yeah, so let's just say you were not the person in the worst situation on our stream here.
I know, yeah, I'm catching up on the action here. Jim, man, so many feels. That's just so rough.
I mean, be honest with me. How many times have you mismarked a pendant or crystal?
It doesn't happen to me because I don't use a tracker, but, dipping in dungeons that you think are crystals when they're pendants, that definitely has happened to me on a couple occasions. If I'm maybe not playing with the, in-game music, so I don't really notice the difference. Sure. And that is the worst feeling when that pendant drops down. You're like, oh, this is not the right place to be.
Yeah. I had a similar situation in an earlier race during this qualifier situation. I marked the wrong dungeon as the green pendant and went and cleared the blue pendant instead of the green pendant.
Oh,
Like a dumb.
yeah.
And not going for right side.
Yeah,
Oh
I mean,
yeah. Oh, and that as well, going left side, just to icing on the cake there. I was really hoping it was going to be one of those first couple chests, but then I always go left side. So seeing that it was right today, pretty upsetting.
yeah. I mean, some people like to follow the right side key meta, and then some people are like, no, I'm not doing that without the mirror.
Mm.
I mean, Killer Up went without the mirror, but he had to kill himself at the end because he didn't have it, even though he had the big key.
Yeah,
Right.
he had to jump in a hole like 14 times.
That didn't happen to me because I managed to score the mirror on the left side there.
Yeah, the only way to route this GT well is to go get the mirror and do the Dark Magician strats, but it's like so unlikely. I mean, I wouldn't do that, and I'm known for doing Dark Magician occasionally.
Mm-hmm. I should have taken it as a sign, I guess, to change paths and go for something kind of outrageous.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a pretty good. It was still a pretty good run, I think, and I don't think this will hurt you too much in the long run.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and the thing is, like, aside from a couple of my, routing issues where I last locationed, maybe one or two things and didn't quite get on board with the whole it being super linear, execution-wise, I think I did pretty well. So, I mean, I can take that away from this race and just hope that my routing is a bit better in the next couple qualifiers.
Yeah, that is true. This was a pretty super linear seed. There was very little that you had to do outside of the normal dungeons. The only pendant dungeon you could have gotten debated into was Tower of Hera.
Yeah, and I almost went in.
And Ice Road being in Total Rock as well.
Yeah,
pretty convenient.
It was really convenient, and like by that point in the race, you're like, it's gotta be there. Like especially for me, because I had pretty much cleared everything else. I was like, yeah, it's there.
Yeah, I mean, it's either there or like Mirror is there and it's in Swamp or something dumb like that. But
Yeah.
you're gonna have to go to Turtle Rock without the ice rod at that point, and there's just no way around it.
And I think I was far enough behind that I started seeing a couple people finish while I was just getting into Turtle Rock, and I thought, yep, it's in here.
All right. So Hobo Jim now finishing off, going down to the vanilla big key room. Gonna get over to the right-hand side. And I think there's a small key in tile room. So it's not going to be a big deal. So, Sabatender, how many of these qualifiers have you done so far? Just the two, right?
This is my third.
Or this
yeah.
will be 3? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now, last I checked, you were in about 84th or so.
Yeah,
coming into this.
I'm too close, man. I'm right on the bubble there, and that's kind of scary.
I know exactly what you're talking about. But yeah, I imagine your next race will be pretty okay.
Yeah.
The other thing is don't freak out in your 4th race, because your ranking will almost inevitably go down after your 4th race, because your score cannot improve on your 4th race, because they drop the high score there.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
And then in the 5th race, your score can't get worse because they drop the low one.
I see what they're doing there. Yeah. Okay. That's good to know.
All right. So anything else you'd like to say about this seed before we finish up watching Hobo Jim here?
And not too much to add here. It was a decent run. I mean, it's kind of weird that like a 133 whatever seconds it was is usually a pretty solid run, but in this case, I was like, darn, that was really terrible. But no, I'm feeling okay about this one, and I'll pick myself up and take care of business in the next 2. So just shout outs to you guys. Thanks, Bob and Lynn, for doing the commentary here, and our trackers, Crunchy Chocobo, and Kipasagi. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, no problem.
Problem.
All right, Hobo Jim making his way through the gauntlet. Let me tell you, if I was Hobo Jim right now, I would be so salty. And so I think it's great that he is, finishing it off despite the mishap there. It shows some great sportsmanship on his part there.
Great support, guys. That's actually a lot of hearts for like no dip into swamp, or I mean, it's only Meyer as well, but no males.
Yeah, I imagine both the males were probably in, in Swamp or Mire or something, somewhere along those lines. Taking care of the torch room here. Lamp strats.
The flute is in a validation chest. So no way to get in for GT.
Yeah, it was impossible to go into Swamp or Mire without entering Ganon's Tower, which is, you know, kind of a great thing for some of these runners. Hobo Jim has no interest in these remaining chests. He is done. He's like, you know what? I'm taking this seed down with me. All right, so we move on to Hobo Jim in the Aghanim 2 fight. A double on the first hit. Not bad. Getting a little bit off target there, but we'll turn it around soon, I'm sure. There we go, another double. And another double. So saving up that four cycle. Pretty good. And it's time for pyramid fight for Ganon. Hobo Jim with the silver arrows and the butter sword should make quick work of our porcine friend here. And as we know, very few teleports today from Ganon, so this should be pretty quick for Phase 3. I want to think the number of extra teleports is 0. Yeah, actually 0.
Ganon quite generous today.
It's like version 18 all over again.
And the last harrow.
There we go. Hobo Jim finishing off Ganon as well. We have an official time from Hobo Jim of 1 hour, 50 minutes, and 51 seconds. That is good for 46th place in this race.
GT Hobo. I think we have him in. Okay.
All right, we are joined now by Hobo Jim. We were feeling your pain so hard over here.
Hey, sorry. Could volume levels okay and everything?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Yeah, so this was my first ever restreamed race, and I gotta say, it's such a relief that that's all done with, that I got through the entire seed without making a single big mistake. That was fantastic.
Yep, no problems here.
Just
Don't know what you're talking about.
super happy with my execution there. That was great. Anyway, seriously though, Triple Lin, and Dr.
Lin.
Bobtastic, thank you very much for sticking around for this long. I know it was a bit of a slog, but yeah, that was kind of fun, I guess.
I've gone through much longer races before, so it's not a problem.
Props to you for not giving up on that after.
I don't know. I mean,
finding out.
yeah, I mean that was such a stupid moment in my head, right? So as soon as I went into Swamp just to check the hint and make sure I wasn't crazy and that you couldn't actually get in with Mirror, I heard the pendant music and it just dawned on me, that's just kind of terrible. But hey, maximizing my stream time, so that's something to look forward to.
There you go. But yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the well wishes in chat, so thanks a lot. Shout outs to literally Jen and SAGTG. You guys are the real champs here. But yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot to say otherwise, right? Like, I thought I executed pretty well. Early game routing, I had a couple of little hiccups, but not a ton. And really, it was just down to that huge self-own I did towards the end there.
Yeah, other than that, you would have been pretty well off, I think. Yeah, we were having some issues when you went up to Turtle Rock. We're like, so why do you go to Turtle Rock without going to ice? And then someone came in and noticed that you had marked the tracker.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh my goodness.
I'm going to be hearing about this for a while, I'm sure, yeah.
Well, you know what?
The Turtle Rock
happens
play,
to everybody.
Yeah, that's what everybody's been saying to be nice about my mess up there. But hey, I mean, the Turtle Rock play played off pretty well. So that was, I mean, aside from being able to complete ice first, that wasn't that big of a deal, I guess, really. It was just that swamp blunder that killed me. I mean, to nobody's great surprise, right?
Right. Yeah. And to be fair, I would have also, completely ignored the music in Ice Palace.
Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't catch on to that, because I just had it so cemented in my head that ice was a pendant dungeon, right? And then when I got into Swamp and heard the pendant music there, that's when it really clicked for me. And it's kind of a shame, because even aside from all that running around, I went to ice not early, but not nearly as late, right? So that would have been a good time to get my wits about me, but unfortunately, that's not quite how it goes.
Yeah, well, it was still a well played race. Given the information your brain was working with, you did an excellent job.
Yeah, thank you for that backhanded compliment, Dr. Bobtastic.
What? That wasn't backhanded. It was like side-handed.
Yeah, I'll take side-handed. That's fine. Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, aside from that, I had a pretty good time at the race. I'm still kind of getting used to the whole SRL thing, but I've been playing this game for a while now. So I actually used to tune into your office hours streams all the time. So
oh, nice.
Hey, big fan over here. Yeah, thanks
a lot. Yeah, I think I remember that a few times.
Yeah, I didn't talk much, but I'm pretty shy, as you can tell from the interview.
Yeah. All right. So, anything else you'd like to say about this seed before we wrap things up here today?
Oh, that would have been a jet seed if I hadn't screwed it up. What was the top time? I didn't check.
I was a 113 or 114 or something.
114. Yeah, that sounds about right. I was probably sitting at about 120, 125 in my uneducated estimation there, but that's just wishful thinking at this point. That was my third race, so I've got 2 more to go, but I got Andied in my first one, so I'm probably out of the runnings for top 96, but that's okay. I'm still...
Well, I mean, you got Andied in this one too, so...
yeah, but I think the bigger issue was getting hoboed,
Yeah.
You were also one of the first runner on our stream to actually go for the Moon Pearl in Zelda Cell.
Oh yeah, is that right?
Yeah, I think you were easily the first person to do that. We thought for a second there, once you got the Moon Pearl, you might go to Aga.
I debated it, yeah, actually. But I mean, so lately, every time I go off of my early game routing, it ends up biting me in the butt later on. So I'm trying to do that a little bit less this time. And I mean, along with most of my early game routing was all the stuff needed to access Dark World. So aside from well, I guess that was all on Death Mountain, right?
Right.
So the hammer and the mitts.
Yeah, they were
So
all
yeah,
up
I
there.
guess that's just a load of garbage that doesn't actually make sense now. It's yeah, I mean I just hate doing Aghanim, but so does everybody. So that's no
Yeah, I
surprise.
buy it.
Yeah.
And it would have really bit you this time, so it's a good thing you avoided that.
Yeah, Joe, it would have been really bad to get bitten in this seed. Just terrible.
Okay, I think I'll put you out of your misery here. Sorry.
No, you're good, man. Thank you. Anyway, yeah, if that's it, then thanks a lot for sticking around and watching, guys. I appreciate the support. There was a great outpouring of that in chat. I guess this is something that happens somewhat often on stream, or at least to everybody once, right? But
Absolutely.
yeah, thanks a lot for you guys sticking around too. I know it was taking time out of the middle of your day too, and thank you very much to the trackers as well, which I think was what Crunchy Chocobo and Danny stream.
Thanks to the trackers.
Crunchy Chocobo and Kepasagi are our trackers.
Kepasagi. Okay, sorry, I'm just looking at who's in the chat.
Danny
right
is our restream engineer, keeping all the things on the screen for you.
Okay, well, thank you to him as well. That's fantastic.
Yeah, so it's been an excellent time. I want to thank once again our runners Sin, Hobo Jim, Sabatender, and Killer Out 23 for putting on an excellent show today. I once again want to thank the trackers Crunchy Chocobo and Kepasagi, and of course our restreamer Danny for putting together all this mess, and of course my co-commentator Lin. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me there.
Absolutely.
And, thanks to everyone as well. Like trackers, the streamers, and you, Bob, for doing a great job at commentating.
Yep. And if you enjoyed what you saw here today, the best way to support those involved is to give them a follow here on Twitch, and I'm sure everybody here would appreciate that. And with that, I think we're ready to call it a day. So I will just say that I have been Dr. Bobtastic.
I've been Lin.
And we'll see you later.
See you later, guys.